Imagine being a young black girl who's constantly worried about racial discrimination in the workplace. Well, that's me, every day. I ask myself, will I get the same opportunities as everyone else? My name is Amyah Foster, and I am in the 8th grade attending Meridian Public Charter School. Racism towards African Americans in the workplace is damaging to society. The government needs to put in new policies and standards in place to help reduce discrimination against minorities in America. African Americans are uncomfortable in the workplace, and this reduces their ability for them to do their job. According to a recent study published by Harvard Business Review, people of color are 37% more likely than whites to feel that they need to compromise their authenticity at work to conform to conventional standards of executive presence. African Americans tend to change the way they look and act to conform to the traditional ideas of professionalism. According to Vital Smarts, a leadership training company, approximately 2/3 of victims of discrimination in the workplace has affected their engagement, morale, interests, mental health, and desire to advance. How are people supposed to do their job and become successful if they're constantly encountering racial bias and discrimination? Companies need to examine their hiring practices and seek feedback from minority employees to prevent discrimination and improve workplace culture. Companies need to prioritize pouring money into diversity training and putting new policies and standards in place to prevent racial discrimination from happening. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act states, it's illegal to discriminate against someone based on race, color, religion, national origin, or sex. This law also protects employees against retaliation for going forward with a claim regarding discrimination in the workplace. It's heartbreaking that it's been 50, 60 years since this law was enforced and racism is still happening. Title VII was recently invoked by a black woman suing Amazon for racial discrimination. She was offered a role that was one pay grade below the job she had interviewed for, yet asked to perform senior manager duties. Some people may argue that the Civil Rights Act is working because people can claim racial discrimination without getting punished. However, true progress will live in a scenario where this highly qualified black woman could apply her unique resources towards bettering her work environment as a senior manager without having to fight her employer for equitable justice. The right to call out foul play is not the same thing as fair play. In conclusion, racism towards African Americans in the workplace is unacceptable. To change this, we need to invest in diversity training for companies. Also, companies should consult with minorities to reduce racial discrimination. To be active and fight this problem, write to the White House so this problem can be prioritized. Let's fight for justice and let's end racism together.